Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, December the 14th, 2022. Wednesday, December the 14th, 2022. Before I get started, if you have not already subscribed to this video, please subscribe, and hit the like if you like the content of this video. Now, today's episode was so. That's what I'm saying. So. We have piddly stuff. We've got Billy uh obviously leaving his conversation with Chelsea. That's done. And he decides to go to Noah's Club. Everybody's hanging out at Noah's Club midday. Well, who does he see sitting there working on his little tablet? Is Daniel. So Billy in the whole club, is empty, decides who does he want to sit with to still want to know what you're trying to pitch to Lily. Billy. He sits down with Daniel, and Daniel's like, oh, wait, Billy? And he goes, yeah, somehow they small talk about, Daniel wants to come get some work done, and he's having a club soda, actually. And Billy's like, yeah, I'm, here. Come, I get peace and quiet here. And Daniel's like, well, you think you'd go to a library if you really wanted peace and quiet. But anyway, they start talking. So Billy's like, so what's this project you're working on that you're pitching? And Daniel looked at him and said, well, you know what? CEO doesn't want that out yet. And Billy says, well, I do know it's out of the out of the box. It's a platform. So Daniel looks at him. He goes, yeah, it is. And so Billy's like, well, what's this platform all about? Well, nope. That he's like, that, my friend, he didn't say my friend, but that, my friend, need to know basis, employees only, upper level management is really what he wanted to say. And Billy, you don't get to know. And rightfully so. Why would you tell Billy when Billy doesn't even know where he's going, what he's doing? Billy is no concern of his. So then they just got to talking, and he said, well, platform, that's you're out of the realm of being an artist. You're an artist. He goes, no, I've diversified over the years. I don't have my irons in just that one hat, right? And so Billy's kind of like, of course, Billy. Well, and he goes, so what are you up to, Billy, these days? I mean, it has to be something good for you to leave Lily high and dry at a pivotal point in the company where Nate had just left. And Billy looked at him like, oh, well, that's none of your business, And he goes, I know, Lily has a lot on her plate. This is what Daniel's saying, right? And Daniel, I'm looking at him, and I've listened to the things he said to Lily, and I'm like, Daniel's instigating. See, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. That's what I'm beginning to see with Daniel. He's like his mama, right? See, apple ain't falling too far from the tree. Daniel's trying to drive a wedge. Now, in reality, everybody, Billy is much older than Lily and Daniel. Much older, okay? Age difference wise, absolutely positively. A lot older, right? So Lily looks good, and we don't really know. They've aged her up, and the actor playing Billy looks good. They've aged him down. So, they're trying to make it work, but there's no comparison. He was not in Daniel and Lily's age group. So anyway, Daniel asked him some kind of personal question or something, because Billy's like, I don't know what that looks like yet. And Daniel's like, almost mumbled, same old Billy, right? So Billy looks around. He goes, you know what? This is a big old empty place. I'm going to find me a seat over there. And he gets up and he walks away. And Daniel's looking like, good, because I didn't ask you to come sit by me. Realistically. We're not going to pretend to be friends. Serious, not at all, because we're not friends. And I am definitely on my ex-wife's side. That's really Daniel's stance. But you know what? Good for Billy. Because Billy is always, as far as anyone else in Victoria, look, Vic means a lot to me, and I'm always going to be behind Vic. Okay, so now you feeling that sting. Well, we have Lily and Tracy. Lily is still at Society. She has not been able to leave that place. She is truly in a slump. But who wouldn't be? Devon is never there. Never there. I think the only one working at the office is Audra. you know, Devon, like I said, Abby, she's in the house waiting for Devon to come home. Okay. And Devon is busy dealing with Nate, and then he's going to come home. When is he working? Lily does. She needs a whole new workforce. She truly does. People to help her do this job. But anyway, Tracy was talking to her, and she was saying Lily was explaining, she could feel, she says, I feel I'm losing Billy, that losing what we had, and we're just not even connecting. And Billy is all off. And she was explaining how she felt about Billy's actions. And Tracy said, oh, I've seen this phase in him before. She says, a number of times, multiple times. She says, is he gambling? Or she goes, he's not gambling, is he? And Lily says, no. And Tracy's like, good, but other words, kind of keep an eye on that. And it's like, no, Billy's grown. He need to keep an eye on himself, because it's when Billy has idle time and nothing to do is when he does start gambling. He really does. So Tracy says, have you two thought about couples counseling? And Lily said, no. And Lily was for it, because Lily said, I can't keep this relationship together on my own. I have so much on my plate at work. I cannot do this. So Tracy said, if Billy is willing, try couples counseling. And Lily's like, well, you know what? That's something to think about, right? So she's going to definitely think about it. And then we had a scene with little cutie Harrison. We've got Summer bringing him home, and he comes over to Grandpa Jack, and he had drawn a picture and said, where's Dee Dee? Where's my Dee Dee? When is Dee Dee coming home? And they're like, oh, their little hearts are breaking for Dee Dee. So then they make up their little, Dee Dee's out of town, but she loves you, and Daddy will come home, and you'll do this. Well, will Dee Dee be home for Christmas? Will Dee Dee? See, you let Diane get that involved in that boy's life, knowing who Diane is. But you know what? That's on y'all, right? Because I can't stand what Phyllis did with bringing Stark to town. It was needless. He was going to come there anyway. But Diane would have to have left then. I mean, seriously. One thing Phyllis is saying is true. This is all Diane's doing, all of it. It's just Phyllis nudged it along needlessly. So anyway, they talked to Harrison, they smooth it all out, and Jack and Summer have a good talk. And Summer is actually saying, I really wished you and your mom, were close again. And he goes, I know you're gonna stand up for your mom, but I have to stand up for my son, and Kyle is your husband. And she goes, no. I'm standing up for my family. And that's Kyle and Harrison. She said, but I still love my mom. I mean, that's not going to take away the fact that Summer loves Phyllis, right? It's just, unfortunately, Phyllis is driving a wedge of her own making, seriously. And so Summer said, look, I am fed up with Diane's endless lies that unfold, endless lies. And Jack just looks. See, and I'm thinking, yeah, listen to that, Jack. It is endless lies with Diane. She says, however, I don't want any harm to come to her or anyone in the family. Right? And so Jack's like, well, good, we're on the same page, and whatever they're talking about. So then we have Phyllis. She's at the coffee house. She went ahead and met Stark at the coffee house. And he's just looking at her, and they're talking. He goes, yeah, I want to know where Diane's at. She goes, Mr. Stark, I told you I don't know where Diane's at. And he goes, I already know. He goes, look, you're the one that called me. I did not call you. Yes, you did. I could tell when people are lying. I like to look them in the eye and know they're lying. And she's looking. He goes, Diane, I'm trying to get what's due. What she owes me. She has something in mind. And Phyllis is like, there's no love lost between me and Diane. I want that woman gone. I wanted her gone. And so then she goes, you know what? Yeah, I am the one that called you. He goes, yeah, and you said Diane was the one who worked with the feds to put me away. And he goes, do you have any proof of that? She goes, no, I don't have any proof. I said that to get you here so that you could run her out of town. And she has run out of town. And she was kind of like, you can go too. And so then he goes, she goes, I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm sorry for, telling you that Diane was the one, for lying to you, that Diane was the one who tipped off the Fed. She goes, if she did, I don't know that. I don't have any proof. Right? And so Stark's like, So it looks like I could have misjudged my ex. And Phyllis is like, and again, I'm sorry, but I don't know where Diane's at. And he goes, but you could find out where she's at. She goes, nobody's telling me anything. No one is telling me anything. I can't find out where Diane is at, nor do I know where she is. I'm just happy she's gone. And so he looked at Phyllis and I think she said, I'm sorry again. And he looked at her and he goes, yeah, I'm sorry too. And she's kind of looking like, cause she's clutching her purse as she's talking to him. And I'm thinking, yeah, feel the sting, Phyllis. Feel the sting. You don't know what this person's gonna do. He pops in, he evades security like there is no security. You don't know what he's capable of. And you thought just because Diane left, he's just going to mosey right on out of town, putting his finger on a map saying, okay, I think I'll go here. Well, wouldn't a criminal think her family is still here? She's got to show up sometime. Or she's really going to show up if I abduct one of them, right? See, we don't know what this criminal is going to do. Neither did Phyllis. Didn't matter to her. But by the way, everybody, what do you think about this? Jeremy Stark just got released from prison. Aren't you normally on parole when you get out of prison? You're not allowed to leave the state. How is he allowed to leave the state and be in Genoa City? He has to check in with his parole officer. What's going on with that? Oh, they just don't expect us to think about that, right? Because I was thinking, how's he doing what he's doing? All somebody got to do is tip off his little parole officer. Hey, Jeremy Stark, he's in Genoa City. Where's Genoa City? Is that in Wisconsin? Genoa City, Wisconsin. Oh, violation of parole, right? But anyway, so then then we had Tucker took Ashley on a picnic in the winter. She never once took her coat off because she goes, it's too cold, even though he had one of those standing heater things. She's like, it's still cold, right? And he's whining and trying to woo her. And she's like, Tucker, no, this isn't working. And he's like, yeah, but Ashley, you're brilliant. And I would love to. Why don't you quit the Jabot and let me help you start your own company? And Ashley says, really? She goes, I would love to work with you. huh. She goes, does this have anything to do with you trying to have Diane get Jabot's financials? No, no, not at all. She goes, because I'm telling you, Tucker, that's not going to happen. He goes, but no, I would love to work with you and I would love to work with my son. Just work closely with my son. So she goes, it almost sounds like you're trying to go after Chancellor Winters. Is that what you're trying to do? And he's like, no, I just said, like, no, like, Tucker, shut up. I'm just saying. And so Ashley's just looking at him and she's thinking, And I'm like, you better give Devon a heads up, Ashley, or just look, I'm kind of thinking your father wants to do X, Y, and Z. And he's like, I want you to help you start up your own. Well, didn't Ashley just start up her own, 8-9 years ago when she was feuding with Jack? The name of her company was called My Beauty. It was a hit. She did an excellent job. It was thriving. She was, matter of fact, Jabot was struggling because the truth is Ashley owns all of the patents for all of the Jabot fragrances she created for Jabot. She's the chemist. And so that's why when Dina finally let it out with the will, that John left all of that to Ashley, the rights to all of her fragrances. And she scooped everything up and started her own company. And then Jabot had to struggle with original stuff. So no, she doesn't need you, Tucker, to help her start her own. She did that. And then years later, a few years ago, she folded it right back under the Jabot umbrella. And now she has that cushion of not the responsibility of owning a huge conglomerate. So that was Ashley's choice to do that, right? So then we have, let's see, I covered pretty much. This tripped me out. Phyllis comes waltzing into the office, and Summer and Jack were standing outside talking, his office. And she goes, I need to speak with you both. And he goes, I have nothing to say to you, Phyllis. And Summer's looking like, mother. So she goes, I spoke with Jeremy Stark, and they both kind of perked up. Like, wait, what? He goes, you did what? And she goes, yeah, he wanted to meet with me. And he goes, and you went, even though I told you to say, yeah, I went. And then she goes, I was talking to him. He knows Diane's out of town. And I suggested, he go, maybe it's time for him to go out of town. And she goes, but he insists Diane has something of his. And actually she goes, Diane has something of his? Kind of like, what is it? And I'm looking at Phyllis and I'm like, what's your angle? What's your angle? You're not coming clean like this. Something else is up, right? Either Stark and her had a conversation, they made a pack off screen that we don't know about. And she goes, so I tried something different. I told him I did make the phone call. And Jack looks at her, he goes, you're admitting you did it? And Summer's like, And Phyllis is like, yeah, I did it. Because I wanted Diane gone. And look, Diane is gone. And so Jack is like, so when is Stark leaving? Well, I don't know about that because he wants to, Diane has something of his, and he is like dead set on that. And Jack he goes, you looked me dead in my face when I asked you, did you call? And you lied to me. You lied. Part of me, just a small part of me held out hope that you had not done it. And Phyllis is like, yeah, but I didn't mean that for him to still be here. I did the right thing. I told the truth. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, look, and even I'm on Team Phyllis, and I ain't with that. How do you waltz in and say, I've done the right thing? I've just told you the truth after lying to all of you. See, she should have done a Diane. She should have said, I have my reasons. He was going to be coming in. Look, think everybody, he was coming anyway. Diane has something of his. Diane is the one who ultimately was going to bring danger to our door, right? And so he goes, time I am headed. Oh, Jack goes off about her lies. Now, Summer was pissed, but Summer should have said, because Summer was saying this to Jack earlier, the endless lies Diane tells that come to light, and she's just forgiven, right? Summer's like, I can't get behind that. And Jack didn't have nothing to say about that. Well, normally she has a good, oh no. So now Phyllis has a reason. The reason is Diane is trouble. The reason is there have been more and more. As soon as Jack said, there's yet another lie from you, it should be, no, Jack, I'm sorry, who are you talking to? That should be Diane, because there's been yet one lie after another that has come to light, and she's still in everybody's good graces. So yeah, okay, yeah. I tried to get her, you know I hate her. I tried to get her out of town, but I had my reasons. And then she should say, I'm just so scared. Everything away from me. Worked so hard all of these years. Even you and I, we have just been unbreakable, our friendship. And I'm so tired of having to deal with Diane in town just constantly when nobody's around. The endless digs she does at me. I had to do it. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't want my daughter to get hurt. Yes, I may have done it the wrong way. I was scared to sleep by myself. Can I sleep at the Abbott house tonight? She's not crying enough for you, Jack. She's not begging you to hug her enough, Jack. Phyllis needs to say, my daughter, more, just like Diane is saying, my son, my son. And now Diane's just saying, my family, right? And so he's like, if it were up to me, I would fire you. You would be gone. Oh, he just blah, 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 blah. And so he goes, but that you work for Kyle and Summer, and I hope they do the right thing. And he goes to storm out. Oh, no, he doesn't storm out. Phyllis then turns and looks at Summer like, what? I mean, wait, what do you, no, I apologize. What? And Summer is just, that's that look. She's looking at her mother like, why are you putting me in this position? Why are you doing what you're doing? You know, so they left it there. And I thought, you know what, Phyllis? I don't know what to say about you. Because you had, after all of that, there was no tactical play in coming clean. There really wasn't. Because Stark was saying, I think it was her. Still don't admit it was you. But my whole thing is, did she do this 180 because she told Stark, nobody's talking to me? Is this her way of trying to find out where Diane is? See, Phyllis always works an angle. She always works an angle. And I truly believe there is an angle here for her. I don't believe she just decided to come in and tell Summer and Jack. I'm going to tell you both. If Phyllis were truly sorry, she would have called her daughter by herself. She really would have. She wouldn't have done that in front of Jack. So I smell a rat with this confession. I smell another sneaky plan with this confession. It's not real. And if it is real, she was pretty darn stupid, wasn't she? That's how I feel about that. Pretty darn stupid. Don't come in here. Then you better really truly play the I'm not sorry for what I did, and this is why I did it. You better stick with that. period. Don't be coming with this. But I've done the right thing. When did you, because I'm thinking, when did you do the right thing? And when what? What part of doing the right thing did you do? I don't know, Phyllis. Anyway, that was today's episode. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner, Didos says, at least I'm not the only one that gets the creepy vibe from Daniel. Daniel's up to something. I really feel it. Billy and Lily were okay when they were working at ChanceCom, but when they started doing Chancellor Winters, they kind of lost it for me. I just laughed so hard when Abby was describing those pictures to Dominic. She was comparing her friendship with Devon to Grandpa Victor and Grandma Neil's relationship. I know. Unless I missed something very significant, I don't remember ever recalling Grandpa Victor and Grandpa Neil sleeping together. I know, you know. Annette says, Nate, you're treading on bad ground. Stop and think. Abby is a Newman. Now the Newmans own you. But here's the thing. At this point, Nate doesn't truly know Abby is involved. All he wants is to just dig up any dirt on Devon, and I truly believe he's going to want to publish it. I truly believe that. Brooklyn says, wasn't Jack's nephew Theo? You are 100% right, Brooklyn. Theo's character, that whole storyline was so completely unneeded. And Theo's father was dead. That's what happened. Dina's son was dead. But that was her grandson, who would be Jack's nephew. That whole storyline was ridiculous. The whole animosity, he was Kyle's friend. And this, I was so glad when they made him leave. He was the one that came back telling Kyle about Harrison. And then Sherry says, that's it. I couldn't remember his name. I know I couldn't remember his name either until you said Theo. Thank you, Brooklyn. Libby says, Daniel might be right about Billy, but he's still stirring up sizzle. There's nothing altruistic about his observation, and I just don't like anything about him. He's a creeper. I know, something ain't right. As for Lily, she's pushing Billy away. When they were talking and he got the text from Chelsea, he looked at it and insisted that he could keep talking, right? Despite her objections. He was trying to do the right thing and the thoughtful thing, and Lily was having none of it. It seemed that Billy's body language, that he had given up and can't do anything right, so he just assumed go. There was something significant for me about Abby when she was talking to Dom. She started out by saying Daddy Devon when she was talking to him, and then it ended up just being Daddy. And when she talks about her ex-to-be, she calls him Chance to the baby. She's pushing him out of the daddy role and letting Devon in. Abby is Abby. She's always been needy. She's always been selfish, always. And if Amanda were in town and wanted to work it out, Abby would break it up, because that's Abby. Abby would 100% break it up. And as for, to me, that whole conversation with Billy, his phone rang. And I mean, the little text messaging chime came on, right? And he looked at it and she goes, what? Because she's saying, look, this is all day, all the time with you, right? And he goes, no, it's nothing. She goes, you know it's nothing, Billy. See what she wants. And he goes, well, she just wants to talk to me. But no, this is important. Turns phone on. This is important. Now, here's what would have happened had Lily wanted to keep talking. This is important, Lily. Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Yeah, no. I'm with you. I'm listening. What? Huh? No. That's not what. No, I'm not putting her first. No. No. See, no, that wouldn't have been a conversation. Lily is right. No, now you're distracted. Now, anyone, that whole thing, I need to talk to you, would have completely occupied his entire head space. Completely. There would have been no even way they could communicate after that. And the more distant he would be, like, oh, shoot, I gotta get out of here. The more pissed off she would have been. So you doggone right, he jumped up. Not jumped up because he felt that he could do nothing wrong. He jumped up because he wanted to get out of there and go see what Chelsea needed. That's why he jumped up. Because Billy is a very defiant person. If it's something he feels really strong about, he would say, look, Lily, no, I'm not leaving here until we're good, or at least on the road to being good. But that's not what Billy wants, because if Billy is not talking about Chelsea to Lily and Chelsea's feelings, and look, if you're having a bad day today, Lily, make sure you don't make Chelsea think it's her fault. I mean, see, no, don't even mention her name to me anymore. Please get out of here with that, Billy. You know? So there's only so much a person could take. And I'm the kind of person that I'm only understanding to a point. I'm understanding to a point. You saved her, yes. You're checking on her, yes. But the reality is you're being consumed by this. And it's being put up in front of anything else in your life. And you're putting it in front of me. And now I better not sneeze in front of the chick, because you're going to say, are you intentionally trying to infect her? I mean, get out of here. No. No, you don't have carte blanche. And you better not ask me not one more time about my conversation with her. That better not happen. I need to be Lily. Anyway. All right, everybody. That is it. That's it for today's episode. Because look, anytime Chelsea said, Billy, I just need you to leave. No, I'm not leaving. I am not leaving at all. It's not going to happen. And look, as Billy was walking out of society, Lily should have said, and don't show up at my office later unannounced, because that's what Billy does. See, like after he listened to Daniel and got some vibes with Daniel, you want to know what Billy's going to do? He's going to go try to find Lily. See, as if Lily ain't working, as if Lily has nothing better to do, because see, right now, Chelsea don't need him. He don't have nothing else to do in his life. He's going to go and say, look, I was thinking we could sit down and have a conversation now. No, we can't. We can't sit down and have a conversation because I'm working. I'm working. Okay. And I'm working late. So I don't know. We'll connect in a couple of days, right? So anyway, everybody, I will see you tomorrow for the next episode of The Young and the Restless.